What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan. I'm BMX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have some meta deck discussions for the Digimon TCG. This is our BT22.5 format because the new ban list is active now until the EX10 format starts in just a couple weeks here. So we had the Unsung Events September Online Regionals. Now this is the regionals I was at, the online regionals I was at. So some of these decks I actually did face. I can tell you at least one of them personally, but we're going to look in at the deck lists we have. We have a nice, interesting wheel here. As always, thank you to the Eggman. I love this style thing, top 16 here. We got a lot of Machine Dramon here. It's kind of weird. Some Omnimon as well, just not mine. But let's look at all the differences in, different decks and what's going on. And there seems to be, again, just a ton of variation here in the top 16 here. So we're going to get into it and talk about that like we always do in our meta deck discussions. And hey, if you enjoy that type of content, be sure to smash that like button. Comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. All right, well, let's get into it here. We have our top 16 archetypes. We have 4 Machine Dramon decks. We'll look at a couple of these to see the variations here. 2 Omnimon Alter S, 1 Leviamon, 1 Purple Hybrid, 1 Royal Knight, 1 Crossheart, 1 Adventure, 1 Blue-Green Imperial. I really don't know what I guess blue because it's got a U in it, Blue-Green Imperial. I never got the UG Imperial instead of like BG, B Green, whatever. 1 Jesmon GX, 1 Growlmon X, 1 Megidramon, and 1 Gallon X. So these decks are still doing good even with the hits to them. It's actually funny because I haven't seen Megidramon in a meta deck discussion in a while. Actually, like, it fell off the map. Same with Phoenixmon, fell off the map too. And that was before the ban list. So it's like no one's playing this anymore, but we're gonna hit it anyways because. So let's get into it. Top 2 were Machine Dramon decks. So we're going to get in here and take a look here at the deck lists here. So we have a more traditional purple / Uko base Machine Dramon where you got you got some on deletion, draw 1, trash 1, draw 1, and Ukomon for search. And then you have all your machines. You have your old Machine Dramon and your new Machine Dramon maxing out, as well as your Chaos Dramon engine, plus a bunch of your awesome, options like the attack of the heavy and supreme connection, as well as analog man. So maxing out on that guy. So that's one variation there, and that took first place. We go back here, we can have another look, see. This is the DM version, so this is definitely the DM version here. So it's using more of only the EX9 cyborgs, although they are using one of the Maltaramon from EX8, because it's just such a good card. And then using Puppetmon Ace as a backup, level 6, Analog Youths, Analog Man and Analog Youths, as well as File Island. So it's kind of an interesting build there. So the DM stuff is good. Alter S. So this is the deck that I played. I played Omnimon. Very similar build. And honestly, what I was thinking about doing is the only difference is I was playing 3 of these black guys, which I'm not too hot on now. So I've actually put in 2 Ukomon in my build. I didn't get the third one in because I did want to keep my Alter B in there. And right now this is already my Omnimon lineup plus Alter B. So I decided to go 2 Ukos to keep the Alter B in there because there was a game where the only way I would have been able to win was Alter B. There was no other way I would have been able to win against his deck, and that was against Royal Knights, I believe. Royal Knights or something else. Might have been no, it was Levia. It was Levia in Rune mode, and the only way I had an Omnimon on board, but it was minus 5k. If I would have been able to Alter B, he couldn't kill my guy. He had to leave it on the board. If I would have been able to Ultra B, that would have been a different story. So unfortunate. And then, of course, we got this stuff too. It's very similar to my build. Like I said, the only other things was like I had the Karemi detective agencies, which I've taken out because they just don't do enough. They whiff a lot, and if your opponent floodgates you, you can't even use them to gain memory. So just better to have more Mat and Ties options and stuff like that, more Mirais. So I completely agree with this guy's choices, and think it was a little bit better than mine. And obviously he saw some results for it, so there's that as well. Leviathan X. This deck, like, it'll never get hit. It's just good enough to put in the work, but not good enough to get hit. Because it's always like it's never like in massive numbers that this rolls out to a tournament. So it's just kind of funny. And this is one of the decks that absolutely murdered me, although this guy isn't running any ruin modes. But the version I faced absolutely murdered me. So yeah, Leviathan X with the purple engine. It's very, very, I guess you could say, safe, same as it always is. And then the one Anubismon, which is clutch. Going on, let's see. This one had another Machine Dramon deck. Let's see if this is DM or this is a little bit different, using different Haguramon, using Tapirmon, using the Uko engine, and then using the wide variety machine engine as well. So another option there. Purple Hybrid. This actually is the deck that destroyed me. I believe this is the same player that actually was my first loss all day. I tied up to that point, either one, I think a 1-4, tied 2 up to that point. Game 7, it was a good match. I won 1, he won 2, and just did not get the right cards, and he was able to just overwhelm me in Game 3. So this is still a great deck. Just its ability to put stuff in the trash, do things like attack twice with Arrestor Dramon, have those Gallants there for free play once you just get stuff in the trash. Just so many cool options. And then, yeah, the Mimi, stuff like that. Just tons of good options. You hit a Rivals Barrage with Omni, and it just feels awful if you don't have the Alter S. So there's that too. Even though you get the decode. But it's only good if you get to decode 2, so meh. And then Royal Knights is still there, even with its hits. Adding some floodgates in because you don't have the other options here. Digimon Emperor as a replacement. You're seeing lots of different Queen Device and Adventure to give your opponent. So basically just trying to have some security bombs here. Crimson Blaze, Island of Adventure. Just adding some stuff, options in to make up for Purge being a 1. So yeah, it's similar, just a little bit of a change. So still good deck. They didn't cripple it, but they just kind of limited its capability. Crossheart, Valderarm. Crossheart with Merva and Zeeg. I don't know anything about this deck. Honestly, it's one of the decks I've never played, so it looks pretty interesting. I'll say that. Adventure. Let's see what Adventure looks like nowadays. Is it using kind of the traditional builds, or are they using? Yeah, this is more of the traditional build. Although using Puppetmon Ace and Zaphagamon Ace is kind of interesting because you do max out a lot on your level 5 greeds. And plus, and the Metal Gray works for that as well. Medieval Gallantmon, So you're not even playing the War Greymon, just playing the 1 Melgarurumon Ace. But similar low end and tamer lineup, pretty much where it was always at. So yeah, Adventure's still doing good. Okay, we have a blue-green Imperial. This is probably going to be pretty standard stuff, yeah. Pretty much. The Lydramon's a good choice. 1 Medieval. Omnimon X-Antibody. That's an interesting one. I guess, you know, if it gets you game, right? That's kind of the whole point. Because if you check 2 with that guy, potentially check another one with Dragon Mode, and yeah, you can check a lot with this deck real fast. Especially if you get partitioned, then you can go for, and you have two DNAs in there, you can go straight for 4 checks. It's just nuts. This is the deck. This isn't the exact one I faced, but this is the deck that just got me. Gankumon X-Antibody giving all of their floodgates invincibility is just insane. This card is a prime target for the next ban list right there, because giving your non-themed Digimon, your non-themed floodgate cards invincibility on your opponent's turn, and then basically setting it up so that you can ace no matter what. So your opponent's only option is to attack, and you already have the answer to that attack. You're basically giving them no way out of the situation is stupid. Is completely stupid. So this, congratulations to whoever figured this out. This is freaking gross. So gross. The invincibility, like being able to just play down a couple, you know, low end rookies like Gotsumon or Shramon, and then just basically just play the Gankumon, and then play the Ganku X, and just play the Ganku X is just disgusting. So yeah, that deck is a thing. We won't look at the other Machine Dramon. We looked at enough here. Growlmon, Minervamon. This is an interesting thing. So it's still the Growl engine. Gil one. It's using a Minervamon engine as well as Leviamon. So that's an interesting way to do it now. That engine's just so good. Serpentmon Werewolf mode and X-Antibody. So some good abilities there. Yeah. That's an interesting one. Megidramon. Megidramon is using the Skull Gray again. I never really liked. I didn't understand it. Gallants, Leviamon. It's just like Leviamon's just going in everything. Maybe Leviamon will get hit. No, it won't. It won't. It'll never get hit. So both of those are interesting. Interesting changes. We had another Alter S list. This one, yeah, it's more kind of like what I was running. Although he was running a Nokia, I've always thought about like running a 5th Nokia. Maybe if I don't like Former Eyes, I'll just swap that out. The Yugo is kind of cool too, because it lets you play CS trait ones for cost reduced by 2. So that's not bad, because you can play these guys for 1. And it lets you search. So it's kind of the same as Cremi Detective Agency, although it can't be blocked. by floodgates, because you're probably not going to come up against a reduced cost floodgate. So that's an option too. That's something I could run instead of, maxing out on the tie. And but it's an interesting one. And he was running the Alter B, which I really like. I like the Alter B. But yeah, that's an interesting one. And then Gallant X is our last one we're looking at here. Using the same Geo engine because it's just so good, and then still a good deck. Even though Rush Geo has been hit, this deck could win on its own. Actually playing Takatos, which is nice because some of the builds don't. Cool Boy is cool. So Gallant X still really, really good. I faced 2 of them right off the bat. So that is our top 16. Very interesting tournament. And 355 players, of which I was one. But yeah, Leviamon is kind of interesting. So is Purple Hybrid. So many interesting purple decks. And Gankumon, oh my gosh, that Chessmon GX is oh my gosh. That was probably the most annoying thing, because it was the only time I couldn't do anything. Well, with Ruin Mode on Leviamon, I couldn't do anything, but I felt like I was able to fight a little bit more against Leviamon than against Ganku X. I literally just sat there and got thrashed by Chessmon GX. So that was not fun. That was not a fun game. Good, nice player, but not a fun game. So yeah, that's our top 16 deck lists. Machinedramon just giving it hard. Everyone's like, oh, finally Machinedramon's going to get a ban. So it'd be interesting to see what has to be hit in that deck if it continues to do that well. But we're going to be entering a new format. I don't know if EX10 is really going to make any difference, but we'll continue to do meta deck discussions and discuss how the meta is changing. I have another regionals on the 20th, which is the day after that set becomes legal. So we'll see what happens with that. But let me know about all this down below. What did you think about this meta? What do you think about this tournament? Do you think this is going to be where things are changing up to? Are you surprised that Machinedramon took such a big chunk out of this regionals? Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. That's all for now, folks.